All right, so far we've made an analyst client report and it's sorted by client. I want to show grouping it by business analyst. So I'm going to go to create and I'm going to go to report wizard again. I'm going to do the same thing, bring everything over from this analyst client query. And in this next one, I am going to sort by business analyst. I'm going to then click next and kind of just use the default settings because I don't really need much. But when we get here to the last screen, the second to last screen, we get to choose because we're sorting and it's grouping things if we want it to be stepped, blocked, or outline. Stepped is the most common because what that does is it will put the business analyst up at the top, indent, and show all the clients. And then again, it'll have a business analyst, indent, show all the clients, business analyst, indent, show all the clients. And that's stepping because it's kind of like steps, if you think about a staircase. And so that's a great option for us to pick because we're all going to show business analyst of like Carrie and then all the clients that are underneath that. Martinez, all the clients underneath that. And then Lou, all the clients that are underneath that. So I'm going to click next and I'm going to go ahead and name this analyst dash client report by business analyst. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit finish. You'll see then that this is very different than what we had before because now it's putting the different business analysts first, then stepping down and indenting to show client number and name. If I close this print preview and I go into outside of design view, I'm going to go to layout view because that's a little bit easier to work with. I'm going to go ahead and adjust these columns so that they're a little bit wider and actually make last name a little bit skinnier so I can adjust business analyst and make that larger. Remember holding shift to be able to expand those. I'm going to reduce down first name, bring client number over, and reduce its size over here so that I can then expand out client name. But what's different about this is stepping. So it's got a step showing this first client or first business analyst and then all the clients within that and so on and so forth. And this is a very different report than if you do not group information by a certain field. So I wanted to show how it's very different when you start grouping things and what they look like, but both are great reports and both look great. You don't have to do a lot of work to make these look nice and spit them out and give them to somebody else. In addition to this, what I also think is really cool is if we go to the analyst client report, let's say somebody wanted this data in Excel. Well, what's really cool is if we go into design view here, one of the options in design view as you're working through here, you've got on the design tab a bunch of different things. You can change the themes, you can group and sort information, you can create a chart really quickly, you can add in additional controls. We're going to kind of look at this as we move through and get more into it. But as you look through here, one of the options is actually going to be that we export this to Excel. And I think that one's actually going to be in, let's go back to layout view. Nope, not in layout view, sorry. It's in print preview. Apologize, I forgot which one it was in. So I went into preview mode, and one of the options is for you to automatically export this report to Excel, which is a really cool feature. You can also export it as a text file or more down to a Word document, all those kinds of things. Because like, let's say for instance, they wanted to do a mail merge. Well, you could export this to Excel and then use it in the mail merge. So I can go ahead and export Excel and say where it's gonna go, what type of file is it gonna be, what's it gonna look like, so I can go and browse to my folder for my information for this class. So I'm going to go here. I am going to go ahead and then change this. We'll keep it as a 2003 because it doesn't have the newest version. And the reason it's doing that is to make sure it's compatible across all devices. And then I'm going to go ahead and I am going to open the destination file after the export operation is complete because I want you to see what it looks like. So click OK, and you'll see that quickly it creates an Excel file for us, and we could send this off for somebody else to you. It's kind of interesting as well when the other person uses this, the formatting kind of came through. I mean, the font and the coloring and all that kind of stuff from the report. So I think that's kind of an interesting feature, and you could adjust that really quickly in here. But what's important to note is that you can easily use these reports to either group them and display the data in the way you want and export them for use somewhere else.